What's up, everybody? Today I'd like to share you my thoughts on the Ultra Vanish Carbon, but before that, I'd like to tell you that when it comes to picking out running shoes, I'm mostly into running shoes that are for forefoot striking and has a later turnover. Having said that, I picked these up being my first Ultras, expecting that zero drop must probably mean later stage or has a late stage of turnover, only to be wrong. This is definitely zero drop though, and you can feel it when you're walking and standing up. But if you start to pick up the pace, you could most definitely tell that you could forefoot strike in this shoe. Um, Although the slope from where your feet starts to turn over is steeper than I would like it I would like to I would like it to have. So um I guess pr- probably the previous older designs of Ultra um probably have a longer ground contact time or have a later point at which they turn over. But for me, this is not it's not super early, but it's also not late stage as I would like it to have. This shoe is true to size, and this is a size 10. The midsole is made out of TPEE foam and has two layers to it. This is the softer one from here all to here, and the bottom layer is the firmer one, both made out of TPEE. And if you haven't tried TPEE, um, you would hear that a lot of people um, they describe it like chewing gum, and it most definitely feels that way. The upper on this shoe, which is I enjoyed a lot, is actually some of the more comfortable, if not the most comfortable uppers I've ever tried, and it works synergistically with the shoe. And the moment I got it, I remember thinking to myself, just wow, you could tell that the shoe was designed in America actually because of the feeling when you wear it. You can feel the quality of materials, and it just didn't feel like something that a Japanese shoe brand would execute as. Um, when it comes to the Japanese, they have a more simplistic philosophy and and a minimalistic design. Well, this is not an overly over the top design, but you could tell just by the quality of materials that it didn't feel like they s- they it feels like they didn't spare anything. It feels like the materials are really good. The padding over here, you could see the padding over here and the padding over here. This feature I actually like. If you could see that, the padding over here, because it moves. It moves while your feet are moving. It moves. And yeah, the insoles, you can see the perforations. These are what you would find in racing shoes. So these are, I guess you can call it racing insoles, and it's removable. The stitching looks great. Doesn't look cheap, and this material is it's not the most breathable, but it's also not very hot in these shoes. And if you could see this support system, it actually works great. The laces doesn't feel cheap. If you could see that, it's the plastic they use to round out the laces is not cheap at all. It's thick, and the laces are also thick and not doesn't feel thin and cheap, which is actually impressive rather. Sorry, that they managed to fit all this materials and make it a quite capable shoe, capable of tempo pace. Um, Speaking of which, they're selling this as a tempo shoe, and I would say that it is indeed capable, which was a shocker at first because because of its weight. If I remember correctly, it weighed more than 8 ounces, probably 8.25 ounces. Also, I'd like to tell you that the shoe keeps you honest, honest, and by that word I mean that it doesn't have a plate to give you extra propulsion. Its performance is like giving you the exact image of your feet, of how it would it if it were running, um, if your feet were to run naturally, or as Altra likes to put it, running running, yeah, naturally, I think is how they would like to describe it. Which is interesting because this is a shoe that gives your feet a natural stride without extra rockers, geometries. You can see that there's not much of a geometry in the shoe. Not a lot of shaping, and um, also the plates, which I mentioned. I actually like to grab the shoe whenever I want to go back to baseline and assess my running, and that's what I. This is a trustworthy shoe when it comes to that task. If I were to go on a vacation and could only bring one shoe, I would actually probably grab these and have confidence that the shoe would not let me down. I could go easy. I could go pick up the pace. It's not gonna be vapor fly speeds, but the shoe performs, and it's just a shocker, to be honest. Well, that's all I got for today. Thanks for watching. Have a good one and bye bye.